right, so we talk about our favorite moments. Now we'll get a little more serious. What are your biggest takeaways from the NBA playoffs and finals of 2019?
A couple. Some teams they got to really reevaluate, take a good look at themselves in the mirror,
Oof.
and see what they're gonna do in the future. Yes, with the injuries that Golden State had with KD and Klay Thompson, they're gonna
Hmm.
definitely be out, for most of the season, probably all of it. Who I'm talking about here is the Houston Rockets. For consecutive years, they've been eliminated by the Golden State Warriors.
Hmm.
Last year, okay, you can make the argument. Yes, they didn't have Chris Paul, for the injury for Game 7. This year, they wasted a great opportunity. They were healthy. They had Chris Paul. They had the Rockets. They pretty much had the entire team intact, minus Trevor Ariza.
And the Warriors didn't have KD
And the
for two
Warriors,
games.
they lost, KD in the middle of Game 5. Normally that's gonna deflate any momentum, that any team that would have. Credit for the Warriors, to pulling it off. They're champions and they pulled it off for a reason. But still, the Rockets wasted that opportunity.
I agree.
And in addition, in Game 6 in their own house, they definitely had the talent to be able to beat them.
True. Yeah, they should have at least taken it to Game
Uh,
7.
and some factors going on with that is they're they're not necessarily a young squad. You know, Chris Paul is 34.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur has a bad contract, but that's a topic for another day. But most importantly, is they're capped out. There's not really that many things that they can do to augment the squad. Are they gonna run it back, with the same squad and try again, or are they gonna blow this thing up?
Feel you.
Second thing that I want to say, takeaway that I'll say is with Golden State, like I was saying, it's really going to open up the landscape for the NBA.
Okay.
A lot more squads are going to be able to think, they're
Oh,
going to
now that
have a
the
shot.
dynasty is
Now that the dynasty, that
might be
Kawhi
gone.
killed another three-peat, chance, hey, maybe we're going to have a chance to win this championship. And, with what happened with Kawhi, that the executive of Toronto went for that trade and it worked out well. I think a takeaway that it's going to be is looking at the result that happened with the Raptors. I think more executives are going to take that, swing, that home run swing to, go for the championship.
Hmm.
That'll be some of my takeaways that I got.
Okay. Well, didn't you bring up? You told me earlier off cam. OKC. What was your takeaway from that?
Yes, OKC. So OKC, the past couple years, consecutive years, they got eliminated last year by the Utah Jazz, where they just look abysmal, and this year they got eliminated by the Trailblazers.
Okay.
Um, these past 2 years, like it's kind of becoming apparent that there's one glaring hole in this squad. They just have no shooting whatsoever. Like Westbrook, the guy's hot and cold. When he's hot, awesome. The guy,
Phenomenal.
phenomenal. You want him on your
Magician.
team.
You.
You'll take anything that comes with him. However, when he's bad, when he's breaking all over the place,
It's like it doesn't get worse. It's
it,
crazy.
it just drives you nuts. And the guy's not, the guy's not cheap either. He has a super max deal, and he's in the wrong side of 30. He's not exactly gonna be entering his prime. He's probably gonna exit it.
Yeah.
And when you look at that squad, the only person that you can legitimately, not pronouncing it right, but count on when it comes to shooting is Paul George.
Oh, for sure.
And dude, if you're counting on what's this guy?
Paul George is a shot creator.
If you're counting on a Raymond Felton to make open threes, man, your team's in trouble. And you could be in the Western Conference, you could be in the Eastern Conference. You got to do something. Now, I'm not saying they're gonna trade Russell Westbrook, but man, they gotta get some shooters.
Something needs to be done.
Yeah.
Got you. All right. For me, my biggest takeaways, I have three main ones. Um, I'll start with Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. They proved themselves. They proved that they're a serious threat and force to be reckoned with in the NBA. In my opinion, it came earlier than I expected. I did not expect them to make the Eastern Conference Finals this year. I thought it would be another year more of Giannis and the team getting that experience, and then they'll be serious title contenders this upcoming season now. But they were like a step ahead. They got there, and it was a nice, pleasant surprise. So that was my first takeaway, and Giannis's development, like, just beautiful thing to witness.
Gotcha.
My second takeaway is again with another team that had a regular season success, and the question was, can they bring it into the postseason? And that was the Denver Nuggets, and the Joker and Murray proved themselves. Murray to me is still a little inconsistent, but that's fine. Denver, although they didn't make the Western Conference Finals, at least to me, they proved that they can be a serious playoff threat. If they get even better pieces that fit with the team this upcoming season, like I can not easily, but I can see them making it into at least the Western Conference Finals, especially because there could be other teams that get stronger players this upcoming season, like the Lakers with AD and LeBron. But at least Denver has chemistry and time on their side this time, and experience as a team together. So that is why, and the fact that they proved it that okay, they're a serious playoff threat. All that I could see building momentum next season. Next playoffs. And then lastly, this to me was a very macro takeaway, and it's that this playoffs had no LeBron James, and it's the first playoffs in, I forgot, what was it, like 11 years or something, maybe more, I think, that he didn't make the playoffs. And it's like 12 to 13, I think. And going into the playoffs, I was a little worried, and for the finals too, that like, okay, maybe it won't be as interesting. But all I banked on was like, all right, regardless, if the teams that are going in, because at the time we had the Celtics, the Sixers, all these teams in the East, the Pacers, even if they could surprise us, and then the West had like the Clippers, Golden State Rockets, OKC, etc. It was like, as long as they performed well, maybe we don't need LeBron. That's what was going on in my head as we entered the playoffs. And now that's my takeaway. This NBA playoffs and finals proved to me, at least, and I think to most people that analyze the game, that when LeBron James is ready to move on from the NBA, when he's ready to retire, the NBA will be all right. The NBA doesn't need LeBron as much as it needed him the past couple of years. Because when Jordan left the game, it's been like how would you say it? It's been
It was like a gap.
recorded, that there was a huge fall in NBA interest, in the ratings, and just the culture in general. It was like a little dip for a few years. With LeBron, man, honestly, with all these young players, all this young talent that is coming in, all the young talent that was young at the time and now that's been developing, like Giannis, etc., they're already starting to prove themselves that they can carry franchises and the NBA as a league and culture on their back. The NBA is in good hands. There's a lot of talent and a lot of stardom to go around, and we love you, LeBron. I'm a LeBron fan. I think most basketball fans, even if you're not rooting for his team or him, you're a fan of just him. We appreciate what he's done for the game, of course, but yeah, the NBA will be all right without LeBron James when the time comes. And then just a mini takeaway that made me think about as you were speaking is Kawhi Leonard is definitely the official three-peat killer in NBA history. He stopped the Heat. He stopped Golden State. You can say what you want about the circumstances in the finals. It doesn't matter. He did it. He got Finals MVP in both, so that for sure solidifies him as the three-peat killer because he's the main guy in all those endings.
Can't forget he stopped the Spurs too.
You always bring that up. I forget about that.
He ended the Spurs.
He ended this. Momentum.
He's the first player in the NBA history that has ended three dynasties at the same time. As we saw right now, he ended the Golden State dynasty with some help, from God.
Yeah.
For the basketball gods. He ended, the Heat, unfortunately, and he ended the Spurs. So, when the NBA needs saving, from
Kawhi.
From three-peats, they're gonna call Kawhi to bring.
When you need balance brought back into the NBA, who you gonna call?
Kawhi.
The Claw.
There you go, Kawhi.
This whole episode is sponsored by Kawhi. Hey, if you ever want to come on to the show, Kawhi, just hit us up on Twitter. And so that's our takeaways from the finals and playoffs of 2019. Pretty good, right? What would you say as a fan?
The Heat need to get it together, man.
Well, I'm talking about the playoffs and finals in general.
Oh, I get you. Yeah. It was good. And anytime that at least like coming into these playoffs, I just want Golden State to go down. If it was the Rockets or
okay.
the
See,
Blazers,
I'm not like that.
No,
I would have
no,
been okay
no,
with
no,
like whatever happens. None
no.
of them are my team necessarily.
no, man, I'm like.
I had a lot of boys that felt that way.
I was getting tired of the same, flavor of ice cream. I wanted a new flavor of ice cream.
No, I
for the
feel you.
championship.
Actually, I had a friend bring up in a chat one. He was like, when Toronto won, he's like, "Yo, is this how everyone else felt when the Heat lost in 2014 against the Spurs?" And I was like, "Oh, probably."
Maybe not to that extent.
Yeah, I mean, we're from Miami, so like
Well,
we felt the love.
Yeah, but look,
International people love the Heat, though. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, because international people are bandwagoners.
Type shit.
But look, okay, LeBron and Posh did not join a 73-win team. They joined a team that was like.
All right, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
They joined a team that got their asses handed to by the Celtics in 5 games with pretty much just Dwayne Wade versus the Celtics. It's like KD was like, this is gonna be a topic, a different topic. We can go on this forever. But KD was like, hey, they kicked my ass, in the Western Conference Finals. They won 73 games. Let me just join them. Hey, but I'm not him. I don't know what's going on in his life. That's not up to me.
And then last thing with the finals, I forgot to bring this up, but there's this meme that I thought was really clever, and it's by Sports Talk Barry. If you use Twitter and you participate in NBA Twitter, you probably run across his account, and it's just like how the finals MVPs have all somewhat tied into LeBron James, because that's just how big his presence is in the NBA. Basically, you've seen it, right?
Guy the Warriors got to stop LeBron.
Yeah.
I'm like,
we'll post it up right here so you guys get a. But yeah, I just want to throw that in there because I just think it's worth mentioning.